So once our application is created, we have to go and set up the single sign-on. And the select single sign-on method, we'll choose SAML. The SAML is like a Kerberos. It is a new authentication protocol that replaced Kerberos. And in this steps, or in this single sign-on setup, before we'll do anything, we have to go to our AWS single sign-on and do some settings and have a SAML file that we have to upload it here, upload this metadata file, because we want to create a trust relationship between our enterprise application and our AWS single sign-on. So each one will prove to the other that they are who say they are, and they will achieve that through a SAML protocol. So first thing I'm going to do is go into the identity source. As you can see, the default one by default it is AWS single sign-on. I have to change it. So in this settings, we have three choices. The first one is a AWS single sign-on by default, and this one is the Active Directory. It is the AWS managed Active Directory or external identity provider. So in this lab, we will cover the external identity provider, in our case the Active Directory. So we will check this option and we will scroll down. So this service, we have to download this metadata file of the service provider and then upload it here. I will open it and add that and then save the change. So once I have saved it, choose now I will see later and scroll down here to SAML sign-in certificates and then download that file. I will come back to our AWS single sign-on, and now let me try here to upload that file and then review. So in this review identity source changes, if you have any users that use the AWS single sign-on, means the default service as its identity provider, then that user will be not able to authenticate via the single sign-on. Or for example, if you have used users that used the AWS managed Microsoft Active Directory, then that user will not be able to authenticate from the single sign-on, but instead only the users that come from the identity provider, that is in our case Azure Active Directory, are the only ones that are allowed to single access or authenticate through the single sign-on service. So I will change the identity provider and then return to the setting. I will come back to my application here and go to provisioning. This provisioning because I want to synchronize users from my Azure Active Directory to the AWS single sign-on. So if we try now to come here, as you can see, now users have been added. So what I have to do is come to to Azure Active Directory, and the provisioning mode I will use the automatic mode. And here, this admin credentials is to test the connection between your Azure Active Directory and your AWS single sign-on. So for that, I have to come to settings, and inside in the provisioning, I will enable the automatic provisioning. So once I will click on that, it will provide me with credential that I have to copy and paste in these inputs. And show token, copy it as well, and come here and paste it. And now we test the connection. As you can see, the connection established successfully. And I will save that. So I will change nothing here, right? I will keep things as the default. And then I come to my AWS single sign-on, and then I will start provisioning. So if I keep refreshing, but yes, it's completed, but there is no user have provisioned yet. Why? Because you have to come here to users and groups, and then add the users and the groups that you want them to be able to interact with your AWS account. So come here to users, and then select this one, the other one as well, and select, then assign. So it's telling me that one assigned success and the other one has failed. So let me come back to provisioning. Then I will stop provisioning. And then I will start it again. So if I try to refresh, so I have the user I have selected, it has provisioned to our user. So if we come here and try to refresh, I have that user have